Want to learn how to make people do this?
You're okay. Maybe I think it's that you're committing like
I'm angry because you're a little fucking weasel and I want to fucking slap you. That's why I'm angry. I'm gonna get a little bit triggered when you fucking treat me like I'm an idiot when I know way more than you do.
Well, I literally wrote the book on how to do that. Rational Answers to Stupid Question is my book that will be coming out in a few weeks. I've taken the most common arguments I hear in my debates and written comprehensive refutations of all of them. So if you want to know how to handle that really annoying uncle or your friend or coworker when they bring up some nonsense, buy the book and you will be well equipped. I'll have the official release date coming out soon, so make sure you're subscribed, have the bell notifications turned on so you can know exactly when that's going to be.
Did the universe always form according to law-like principles?
Did the universe always form according to law-like principles? Pretty sure scientifically we can explain everything up to the first Planck second, but that doesn't mean that what was going on before that, therefore, must have been divine intervention or a miracle. It's just stuff that science hasn't figured out yet. Maybe it's fundamentally unknowable. That would be kind of creepy. But, there are, to therefore put God in that gap would obviously be fallacious. But, like we have black holes, for example. I don't know if you think that black holes exist. I would guess that you do. But the laws of physics cannot describe what happens in a black hole singularity either. Does that mean they either don't exist or can only be created by a god? Well, no, I think we have very robust scientific explanations that describe where black holes come from. It's just that, that aspect of them isn't really describable by the laws of physics.
Right, so you can't say with absolute certainty that the universe has always developed according to law-like processes.
I don't really think anybody can say anything with absolute certainty other than they have some sort of experience or that
right, because even if you said that the universe didn't develop according to law-like processes, you'd still be making a truth claim about a point in time where the universe wasn't regular, such that truth claims would be null and void, right? Because there's not even regularity to nature to describe. So my argument, I think, is that the universe had always had to have developed and formed according to law-like processes. There wasn't a moment in time that the laws of physics and nature weren't there, such that they actually pre-exist reality itself.
Therefore, no.
Therefore, it's reasonable to assume that there was a pre-existent mind that was
You just said at no point ever were the laws of nature violated. Therefore, at this one point, all of nature's laws were violated so that a miracle could take place.
When did I say what laws of nature violated? When did I say that, bro?
Did God create the universe through understandable scientific laws? That's such an extremely
that's not even that question I'm asking.
But did God create the universe naturally?
No.
Did God create the universe?
I'm asking you questions, bro. I don't know why you're assuming my view. I'm asking you questions.
Statement. But your statement is fundamentally.
I'm asking you that. I'm saying my claim is that the universe had always had to have developed
principles. That means you cannot.
Well, tell me this:
God doesn't do things through.
Are the laws of physics physical?
That's
not irrelevant.
Does God do things naturally?
That's not irrelevant. Are the principles that govern reality, are they physical in nature?
I would say yes, but I'm not 100% sure what you mean by that.
I'm not talking about their effects in physicality. I'm saying the laws themselves, right? The forces. Are the forces, do they have a form? Are they material?
JR, we talked about this.
Just answer the question, then. It
Last
shouldn't be
time we
hard.
were here. Something doesn't have to have mass or be physical.
it's immaterial.
Something doesn't have to have measurable dimensions for it to be physical. Temperature
Is math physical?
Physical. Energy
Is math
still
physical?
Physical.
Yeah.
Math doesn't really
doesn't exist. Great.
Math
take.
isn't so you're talking about, at the one hand, you were talking about the properties of the universe and the laws that govern it, and on the other, and now we've done this category error. We've switched to concepts.
It's not a category
and
error
ideas.
because
So we can't,
they're both transcendental categories, right? They're both transcendent. The laws of physics and the laws that govern math and logic, for example, these are all related to each other, right? They're interrelated. You can't separate them.
the laws of physics don't transcend.
Yes, they do.
The universe.
Because
They're part of.
they had to have necessarily been.
Would there be laws
ahead.
of fit? Okay, let's disprove this right now. I'm gonna draw a picture. This is a circle. In this circle is all of existence. It is the universe. Where would you put the laws?
They're not physical themselves.
Where would you put the
You're
laws
asking me.
of
You're asking me to fit immaterial things into physicality,
What's the
brother. So you did not.
conversation? If we were going to go with what you're going with, it would either go there or it would do something like this. Whereas I would say, no, absolutely not. The laws of physics are part of the universe. I would say they're in a way kind of the same thing as it. So it would either just, I would either.
So let me just
trace the
follow your
outline or
logic,
reveal
so I don't
the
misrepresent you. Right? You're saying that the laws of physics. Okay, I can agree that they're part of the universe. Now you're gonna say that they're identical.
Yeah, so they don't transcend it.
Are they
Something that's-
identical to
something that's,
matter? Yes or no?
A part of something, I don't see how that could possibly transcend it.
Are they identical to matter? For example, let me give you another the concept of the number one, right? As a subset of math, as a subset of logic, as a subset of a transcendental category, right? The concept of the number one. Dude, just follow the logic, bro.
We're at JR.
What?
JR, at this point, we're talking about, does Plato's theory of forms best describe concepts and ideas or not? That's not where we started this conversation from. We started this conversation with talking about the universe operating according to
I understand.
according to law.
Yeah, and the whole point is to get you to see that these concepts have an actual ontology, albeit not physical or material in nature. They have a nature to them. They're ideal objects that actually exist and function synergistically to physicality itself. But these conceptual abstract things in reality are not physical in themselves, right? Math is not physical. Ideas are not physical. The self, the mind, these are not physical things. I agree they interrelate and interact with physicality, but to make the leap and say that ideas, math, the laws of logic, the regularity in nature, right, identity over time, these things are physical. Like, you can't make the leap, say that conceptual abstract ideas have some sort of ontology in physical matter. Even if you grounded it in the brain.
Well, they
Exactly.
come from brains and they describe a universe which is physical. So I don't see at any point where they can be.
Okay, beautiful. So you're going to ground the ontology of, like, logic, for example, in the brain. The brain is the logic producing machine, right?
I'm telling you that it's only brains that do this kind of thing. That's where they come.
All right, but you wouldn't concede that, for example, mathematical principles are embedded into reality and we are describing them, not creating them?
I think math is invented, not discovered. I don't know if that's what you're.
Let me give you an example. Like, can you picture the mad mathematician with all the equations on the board? Right. He's trying to solve a problem.
Yeah.
He's trying to find the solution to this very complex problem that somehow maps onto reality in some sort of abstract way. Right. Does the answer to the problem exist prior to him finding the solution?
Nature exists. Does he find a way to describe it using a language that we invent?
Yeah. There you go.
So saying that reality exists before we find is not the same as saying the thing we use the tool we use to describe reality somehow transcends it. If I want to take
That's
that
not what I'm
logic
saying.
all the way, then it's as if once somebody comes up with an idea, then they fundamentally change
No.
the universe. Like
That's not what I'm saying.
ask like people didn't float
You're
before
misunderstanding, bro.
Newton.
Right.
Okay, it was there, and then he
Precisely.
described
You're
gravity.
making
So
a
I have a
point.
question.
I appreciate that.
I have a question, real quick, and I promise this is related.
Okay.
It's just
I want to stay on this topic
it's
because
related,
this
but
is going to
it's gonna
directly
sound
relate to determinism, and I'm
I
going to
am
press
too.
you on determinism too.
yeah.
Go ahead.
This stays on topic. This is on topic. Do you think all music that ever will be written is currently exists?
I think that within I think that technically they all exist. I remember seeing a Vsauce episode where all the combinations of
Yeah,
what do
I've
you think
seen
about
that
that?
before too. So you're telling me
What
that
do you
you
think about
think that all of the music that will ever be written already
In some form of abstract transcendental way, and it does exist.
So you're telling me that abstract transcendentals are things
Yes.
that
Are you arguing for the truth right now? Are you arguing for truth right now?
Means.
Are you don't know if you're arguing for what you believe is true or not?
I'm trying to have a conversation about what
Do you believe the truth exists, brother?
what does that mean?
Okay.
Maybe, sure.
Okay, so if you believe
Again,
the truth exists,
I would
where
just
does
say
the
that
truth exist in physical matter?
I would just say that reality exists and we figure things
That-
out about reality. Like, if you ask me, does truth exist? That's no different than asking me.
So what do we figure out about reality? Like the truth?
Things? So how is the truth any different than
Because the truth is something that's, presumably interrelated and a part of reality, but it's not physical, right? Because you don't find truth under a microscope or, under a tree somewhere.
Again, if there is a tree outside and I say there is a tree outside, I'm just describing the tree. The truth isn't some separate thing. It's just words that have a placeholder for
So
reality.
words are pointing to something that is objectively
This is
true
just a tautology.
about reality, right?
Words can describe things that are objectively true about
Would you agree with
reality. Is that what you said?
that?
They appear.
They appear to, or do they?
Maybe I'm a
So
brain in a
this
vat.
is what you're going to
I don't
resort
know.
to, being a brain in a vat?
That's not. I don't believe that, but it could be the case. That's why I said that's
If
what.
you're a brain in a vat, you could never know that you're a brain in a vat, which is actually consistent with determinism too, though. Because technically from your own deterministic worldview, because you presuppose materialism and therefore matter is governed by the laws of physics and nature, right? Your brain, this is the problem, right? You're gonna have to concede that your brain is also at the mercy of naturalistic causes. That right, and you have, of
course it
your
is. Have you
worldview,
ever
you
drank
don't
alcohol
have a
before?
will.
Have you ever drank
No,
alcohol before?
Look, I'm not saying that nature doesn't respond according lawfully, but to make the leap and say that we don't have free will as a consequence of that is a non sequitur.
Then tell me what gives us free will. We're not talking about has the universe always operated according to natural laws?
It's all relevant anyway, because what we're analyzing is your fundamental presuppositions or your worldview. And everybody that's barking, oh, the presuppositionalists in the comments, yeah, so precept for the win, transcendental argument for the win. Let's go, baby. Hey, I'll give you the last round, Peterson. I was off my game that day, but this time I'm a little more prepared, bro. I'm a little more clear-headed. Let's just put it that way. And
Oh, you were? So you have drank
brother,
alcohol?
I'm a sinner, dude. I'm a sinner just like you, brother. I'm no better than you.
Alcohol's not a drinking.
I'm no better than you, brother. I'm just as broken and fallen as you, bro.
I don't know.
According to who?
Right.
Yourself?
Well, other people would agree. I don't get to decide how smart I am, how funny I am, how attractive I am, how decent of a person I am. I think other people, I think that's kind of up to other people. But I don't think that people would agree that I am, on balance, not.
No, I think that even the atheist has the capacity to act in moral ways and live a moral life. What I'm just going to contend is that you're not actually going to have a basis or justification for it. That's a whole nother argument in itself. But
that's fine. Assuming some unfalsifiable things isn't an argument, and it's not evidence either. Well, I guess it could be an argument, but it's not.
What do you mean it's not? It's not empirical evidence.
But
do you just take?
I don't know what that means. An argument is
An argument. You don't take syllogisms as proofs.
I said.
Okay,
evidence.
what's the distinction?
Well, I think evidence, you'd have to have an element of empiricism.
That's just what I said
in there.
Because
I can just say all people named Mendoza are wrong about everything. Your name is Mendoza, therefore you're wrong. There, I've just logically, syllogistically proved that any argument you have is false.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. You can.
Yeah.
I agree. You can come to
argument.
false premises for good reasons or via valid premises, but that's not.
Yeah, so an argument isn't evidence because we don't know the validity of the argument absent some sort of.
You don't understand that you're engaged in debate right now. That's not
this
scientific.
conversation.
You're not engaged
so many times. I just want to talk about the free will thing. That's what you brought up.
I like that, but you understand that you're not engaged in scientific processes right now. You're engaged in debate and philosophy and argumentation. So you do believe that arguments are valid. Of valid evidence because you're here making claims and propositions to support your position. So come on, bro, let's be honest.
I don't know what that meant. Are you telling me, like in a court of law, if somebody said, did you murder this person? And they said no. And they said, what's your evidence? And they said, well, I said I didn't do it. Is that evidence? I guess a testimony can be considered evidence like in a court of law, but I don't think that's really exactly the same thing as what we're talking about. But anyways, you said we don't have, you said, no, we did the free will thing a little bit ago. So you said, like, according to your worldview, like free will can't exist. So I'm just curious, where does free will come from? Why do I have it?
Well, because you're made in the image of a creator that is also has a will as a part of his nature. And so because we are created in his image, we share in his likeness, and our will as a property of our souls is inherent to every human being.
So the reason I have free will is because something else that has free will gave it to me. And that works for me. Because God says so, or because my book says so? Which, I mean, that's nowhere in the Bible.
It's no different than you appealing to your scientific textbooks to prove your empirical facts. What's the difference?
because yours isn't empirical, and it's fundamentally unverifiable. And
You don't prove all facts about reality via empiricism. Right? Do you prove all facts about reality via empiricism, Mr. P?
100% of all facts, you'd have to have knowledge about having knowledge about having knowledge. So I think at some point that's just absurd. But do I have to have omniscience in order to know something? No. And I think if you're going to argue that that's the only thing you would accept, then I don't think then there's no point in having a conversation, because nobody can have a conversation about it.
Do you prove all facts about reality via empiricism?
Do you mean, so I can't tell if you're saying, is this the way I answer all questions? Or are you asking me, is all possible knowledge be obtained through empiricism? Are you asking me a pragmatic question or
Not a pragmatic question. I'm asking you a metaphysical question.
Okay, so there may be things that empiricism
Right.
doesn't answer.
Like, for example, what might be one of those things?
I don't really know. I'm not that smart.
Do the laws of physics, for example, prove or evidence?
What does this have to do with free will?
Hold on, brother. We're getting there. Do the laws of physics?
I don't think we are. So you made the claim that we are made in the image of something that has free will, and it gave it to us. Why should I believe that?
Why should you believe that? Because it has more explanatory power over the explanation.
Name one thing it can explain.
The fact that we have the ability to choose, and we're not just merely automatons and machines that are governed by external causes.
You just gave a circular argument.
I mean, brother,
JR, you begged the question so hard. That was the hardest question begging I've ever seen. What can your claim that we are given free will by a mind that also has free will explain? And you said the fact that we freely
it can
make
explain.
choices.
Okay.
Very circular. Very circular.
I am appealing to a governing authority. So yeah, I am appealing to my own epistemic authority, of course. You're doing a circular argument. You're appealing to your position too. So I don't understand what the issue is. What I'm saying is that
I haven't given any. I don't think anything I did was circular. But anyways, just give me why should I believe?
Because it has more explanatory power over yours, for example, that says that. Dude,
Okay,
we
did that.
Finish?
So tell me one thing that
It can explain how you're choosing to disagree with me right now, even though you're receiving inputs from your environment, i.e., this conversation.
How does it
Bro,
happen?
can you give me a second?
No. Tell me how.
What do you mean how it happens?
You just said your explanation can explain, or your whatever, your claim can explain how it is that you and I are having this disagreement. So how does it do it? How does it happen?
You and I, as individual agents, right? You, the person Peterson, and me, the person Jose, have a mind and a will as a part of our constitution, our metaphysical constitution. Dude, I'm just giving you my worldview. You don't have to agree. Bro, of course it's going to be circular. It's going to be absolute circular.
It doesn't have to be. If you had evidence, it wouldn't be circular.
What are you talking about? Oh my gosh, bro, what kind of evidence are you going to present?
Can we get some circles in the chat, boys?
Bro, you're not.
If you using evidence is not a circular argument. JR, I talk to flat earthers and they say it's electromagnetism. That's why things fall. And I say, no, it's gravity. And instead of just saying it's gravity because gravity exists, I go over, like, there's a calculation you can do for it. We can take actual measurements of it. We can do an actual like scientific investigation to verify the claim of gravity
who is you?
versus electromagnetism, because we can also test the electromagnetism claim also.
Beautiful.
We can see that.
Let's just take that. Let's just take that.
We can't do
Let's
anything.
just take that from your.
We can't do anything pragmatically or even like we literally can't do anything with this. We have free will, as Hitchens said. The irony that Christians don't realize is that of course we have free will. The dictator demands that.
Okay. Let's just take that example of evaluating data and information. If everything is determined, how would you know that the data that you've selected to be true it is not actually false? From your determined view, people could also be determined to believe false things because you actually believe that there are false beliefs, right? And false things. You think that I'm false. You think that what I'm saying is false, right? Just follow along, bro. Don't go on a tirade. Just follow along for a second, all right? Just hang tight, dude. Hang tight. So you think you?
Well, I mean, you got it all out. I thought
you think that I'm wrong about my beliefs, correct?
That we have free will. I don't think there's.
Okay, so you think I'm wrong. You think that you're right. I think right. Okay.
I could be wrong.
If determinism is true, the same process is arriving at two fundamental contradictions, right? The laws of we have the same brain, like we have the same human brain. Our same brain, it's constituted of the same materials that's governed by the same laws of physics, right? But those same laws of physics have arrived at two contradictory conclusions. Okay. So I'm asking you, if determinism is true, determinism has allowed for two contradictory propositions. How do you resolve the issue of how do you resolve that issue?
It's a non-issue.
Okay. So how do you have knowledge if you can't if you can't tell me how you reconcile between true and false propositions?
You can.
How do you do it
discern
via
between true
determinism?
and false propositions? You look at the evidence. You see which one you see which one is more. What would the word be? I don't know which one matches reality.
Hold on.
So I have a question. What is it that
what matches reality better? Okay, you're assuming that what you are coming to know matches reality better, but there's other brains being influenced by the same laws of physics and nature, right? That are coming to different theories and ideas and propositions about reality.
I don't understand how this is an argument that Allah is God and Muhammad was his prophet. How is this an argument?
You think I'm a Muslim, bro?
Wait a minute. So if I believe that there's a creator and that creator imbues us with characters that are in his image, then there are people that believe that but are Muslim? You have a contradiction? Oh, your worldview just blew up right in your face. Wow, I guess what you believe in can't be true because there are you're Mormon.
What did you just say, bro? What?
Oh, you're Protestant.
I'm not Protestant either. What the?
Oh, you're Jewish.
I'm not Jewish.
Okay. Oh, you're Zoroastrian. Sorry.
Oh, shit.
I think we finally. No, you're a Seventh-day Adventist.
How does this relate to what we were talking about, bro? What's the rhetoric about? How does this prove that determinism is true?
Your claim that my worldview contains a contradiction is because it ultimately leads to different conclusions that jive, or different that don't jive. Contradict.
Yeah, you are.
I'm such an idiot. It leads to contradictions. However, your worldview produces an infinite number of different conclusions. So yours is a contradiction.
Bro, but you understand, I'm not even what I'm pointing.
Take your medicine, JR.
What I'm pointing to is that your worldview destroys the possibility of coming to truth itself. No, it doesn't, because
so
truth
yours.
is grounded in a
you're being tempted by Satan, and everything you believe in is false. Okay, does Satan have dominion over this world? According to
In
your
a sense, yes, but ultimately, no. Yes,
can
he can.
Satan deceive people? You just completely obliterated even the possibility of having knowledge in your worldview. Because we could all just be tempted by Satan and be believing in the wrong thing.
Yeah,
Knowledge
but
is
that's true.
impossible in
But
your
we
world.
also have the possibility.
There you go. Knowledge is
Dude, that's such
impossible
a
in
straw
your
man, and it's a complete non sequitur. We
No, it's
also
not.
have the possibility to, when presented with the knowledge of God, right, and truth,
Yeah, but you would never know
to
it.
change our minds and change our ways and change our beliefs. So now you're just gonna play guitar because you don't actually have an argument for determinism. But have a good one, guys. I appreciate y'all. Till next time, and check out my YouTube. You'll watch yourself get cooked. The battle continues. Okay, I'll just hang out till he boots me.
This one's for you, JR. Oh man, this thing's like really out of tune, actually.
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro.
So there you go. The problem is, like, if you're gonna say that it's possible that I'm wrong, and therefore even the like, it sounds like you're saying we can't possibly know or have knowledge because we can't discern between who's right and who's wrong. I don't think that that follows at all.
But-
Maybe
okay,
that's not
but-
quite what you're saying. But your worldview is so much worse because you just agreed with everything I said.
But bro, I mean, you're making complete like non sequiturs, man. I'm saying you still haven't told me how you go about. Okay, let's just put it this way. You agree that the process of coming to knowledge, even through a scientific lens, involves the conscious evaluation of data between what you would consider good and bad data, for example.
We have to.
Yeah, so it involves rational insight, right?
Yeah, something that
Right.
brains do, physical brains.
Yeah, but
do.
rational insight like overrides the physical impulses of our brains, because we can have a physical impulse to be incorrect.
Doesn't. If that were true, people wouldn't. Get,
We can have a physical impulse to be incorrect, right? And then through rational insight, we can come to know that, oh, actually, no, I was incorrect, and I can change my beliefs and align them with what's true, or what you would consider good evidence, or something that's, you know. So
I wrote this down earlier, but we got kind of derailed. So I think a problem that we're having here is you're saying that there's this thing called the truth, which is like irreducible and well, I don't know what that's pretty much all there is to say about it. There's this thing called the truth, which is irreducible, and you can't ever get there. And I don't really think that maybe there are like certain brute facts or whatever. There's some types of knowledge that can't be distilled down any simpler.
It's like fundamental assumptions that we
I
have
don't think
about
that's
reality, right?
necessarily a problem, because we can still have, even if we don't have the truth, we can still be truthful. Like, for example, would you say the sun goes around the earth, or would you say the sun orbits the earth? Or would you say the earth orbits the sun?
I would say, yeah, the Earth orbits the sun.
Right. Except that's actually not really the case. The sun and the earth both orbit
So
this
it's just
thing called the
subjective and
barycenter,
relative.
right? No, it's not.
Okay,
Well, it's
sorry,
not
it's
subjective,
relative.
and it's a fact. It's a scientific fact. But neither you nor I would say not the how to say this. Neither you or I would say not technically true is the same thing as false. The Earth goes around the sun, okay? But they both orbit this thing called a barycenter.
I mean,
So I think if you would let go of this idea of you can't.
What do you mean?
can't
If I could let go, I
truth,
can't. I'm just
because you're pretending that truth is this thing that just cannot be obtained. But we can have degrees of knowledge about
But you
things.
understand
I
how
don't see
you just
would
assumed free
disagree
will
with
when
that.
you said, I don't understand why you can't just let go. Doesn't that assume that I could forego and unlearn these beliefs that I hold that you believe are false and acquire beliefs that are true, that are not false and more true?
A rock could fall down a mountain, but
What?
it doesn't.
What?
Therefore, a
What?
rock has
Okay.
free will. But if some erosion happens later, then it will.
Planet Peterson, do you think that I have the capacity right now to say, you know what, bro? I think you're right. And I'm just gonna reject. I'm gonna reject the Christian God.
You just did.
So I
yes.
have the capacity to will a change of my beliefs.
You asked me if you have the
Yeah.
capacity to do it, not do you freely do it. Like
So-
I would need really compelling evidence that mental states are not produced by brain states.
That mental states are not produced by brain states. Look, I couldn't concede that, for example, like if you alter the brain chemistry, you can alter the subjective experience, or you can alter the mind in a sense. And I can say, okay, these things are, absolutely interrelated, such that activity in the mind results in a physical manifestation in the brain. That's why you can see the brain light up, for example. But to conflate the two, I think is an error to say that, for example, that ideas, memories, thoughts, imagination, right? Like concepts, logic, all these things are physical.
We can invoke memories we can invoke memories like electrically.
Yeah, but evoking them via physical changes doesn't mean that they're inherently physical. Because even in the particulate matter, if you extracted the particulate matter like that results in the memory itself, you wouldn't find the vision of the person in their grandma's backyard when they were 6 years old, right?
Sure you could. I mean, the way that people, like, I'm not seeing you because you have traveled across space and time and are in my office here. The data is I don't know what, now I'm really not in my wheelhouse, but the data is transferred through electromagnetic waves, and then whatever, a processor, some bits and bytes and whatever, and some fancy things happen on an LCD screen. Voila, there you are. But no, yeah, we could absolutely take that information and basically reproduce that memory. Now, a machine doing a video replay of my memories, like that episode of Black Mirror, I wouldn't say those are my memories, because only my brain can produce, well, how do I want to say this? They wouldn't be my memories because that's not my mind, or whatever a mind is.
So is it,
but it's a
whatever a mind is, so you
copy,
don't know what
we
the
could
mind
just
is, so the mind isn't the brain.
I think.
Why
that's
would
what
you
it
say you
comes
don't know what
from,
mind
but
is?
when I say mind, I'm basically talking about consciousness. I don't know what consciousness is.
So why would so you're over here arguing that the mind is the brain, and then you completely refute
No, it
yourself
comes
and
from the
say
brain.
the mind, you don't know what the mind is, you don't know what consciousness is. That's crazy.
No, I don't see how that's crazy. I mean, thousands of years ago, people looked up and they said, "What's that thing up there? That's Jupiter. What is it?" Well, we don't really know.
No. What
We
I'm
think
saying
it's
is
God, but I don't.
you
the bright light in
claim
the
that
sky.
the mind was the brain, and then you said that you don't know what a mind is.
No,
It's all
I
good. It's
never said
recorded.
that. I said that's where
It's recorded, so I'll play it back to you where you said it. You want to be cheeky, bro?
mean,
I got
if
you,
I
bro.
said it, then
You got me
that was
last
just a-
time.
that was just
you
a
caught me
mistake.
slipping last time. I'll take the L. I'll take the L. I'll take the L. That last round, yeah, I'll take the L on the chin, bro. But I think I got enough, bro. I got enough to to do a couple of vids on you, bro. So appreciate you having me, man. It's always nice. It's always nice mentally sparring with you. So at the end of the day, there's no ill will on my end. Merry Christmas, brother, and I hope you have a good one with your family. God bless.
Hail Satan. Hail Satan.